Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and here with a very special ANTUTU throttling test between the Redmi Note 11 Pro Plus, the Pixel 6, and the POCO F3. And we are testing a bunch of different chipsets today. Which one will come out on top? Let's have a look. So we know the drill, folks. We're going to get started. No apps in memory here, and we're going to run a number of ANTUTU tests in a row here on these phones, and I will be measuring the temperature with my thermal FLIR camera. Let's see how these stack up in 3, 2, 1. Test again, test again, test again. Here we go. Alright folks, test number 1 completed, and look at this score on the Pixel 6, 724,677 on the POCO F3, and guys, I love this phone so much. Even after all this time, it is still producing great results, and 438,000 on the Note 11 Pro Plus. Now let's check the temperatures of these phones. Pro Plus, it's around 32, and the Pixel is at 35, 36. POCO F3, 34 degrees, and it's pretty cool in the room here. Of course, if you were doing it without the air, it would get very hot very fast. And so let's take it up a notch here in this test and turn off the air and get these phones really working for it. And apologies folks, it looks like this was on balance mode, so I've switched the 11 Pro Plus to performance mode, and it should now be able to run this test even better. Either way, the air is off now. These phones are really going to be taxed, so let's test again and see how they do in test number 2. Here we go. Alright folks, test number 2 completed, and look at that. Back with performance mode now, the Note 11 Pro Plus has crushed this result, 488,000. But the bigger shock, folks, is, oh my gosh, this phone is hot. The Pixel 6 is scorching the largest single point drop from one test to the next in the history of the throttling test, going from over 700,000 to 614. Meanwhile, the POCO F3 continues to prove how good it is in this test with a 678,000 score, even higher than test number 1. This non-AC test has definitely heated up these phones. 40 degrees on the Note 11 Pro Plus. Wow, 42, nearly 42 degrees here on the Pixel 6. Almost 40, but still under 40 degrees on this phone. And you can see it there, the Pixel 6, definitely the hottest of the bunch. And so you can feel the heat here now with the air off. These phones are not liking this test, and it is pretty warm today in Hong Kong. The temperature in the room rising now to past 23 degrees. But we're going to go one more time here, and I don't even know if the Pixel 6 is going to be able to handle the rest of this test. But let's do it. Extreme throttling here. Test number 3 with these phones. Here we go. Alright folks, test number 3 completed, and I think we are done. I've seen everything I need to see, and my gosh, folks, the Pixel 6 is burning up. But not only that, the Pixel 6 has suffered the largest drops in scores from one test to the next in the history of my ANTUTU throttling test, starting with the top score. And there you see, can't even keep the display on anymore. It is overheated completely. This phone is about to shut down because of how hot it is, dipping over 200, almost 250,000 points, guys, in this test. But the other two competitors here, the Note 11 Pro Plus, once I finally got in performance mode, apologies for that guys, but you see it has stayed very close to its original benchmark of 488,000, only dipping slightly here in this last test. All the phones are hot, of course, but this POCO F3 has shown them all how to do it across 3 tests with a most consistent and highest scores, 671,000, an incredible result. Let's measure the temperatures, 40.4, 42, almost 43 degrees. There you see it, 43, 44 on the Pixel 6, and we're looking at around 42.4, 42.3 on the POCO. And there you see them, folks. You can definitely tell which has gone the hottest. It is the Pixel 6 by far. And so that's it for this test. I don't even want to do a 4th test in danger of melting the Pixel 6 here. But we have the results in 3rd place with a really poor showing here. The Pixel 6, which dipped, like I said, over 250,000 points, the largest point drops in the history of this ANTUTU throttling test. And there you see, after 3 tests, it just cannot sustain performance. Clearly, throttling is an issue on this Tensor chip, and I think it will take a probably next generation chipset for Google to get it right, because this just doesn't cut it in terms of sustained performance. In 2nd place, yes, it did very well in the last 2 tests. Of course, yes, my bad that it was on balance mode, but here you see, still with the 2nd highest scores, it did get a little bit warm, but I think considering the thermals, this Dimensity 920 did a solid job here in this test, and it could easily be argued that it should win because it only lost 1 point from 488,000. But I gotta give it here. I just gotta give it to the POCO F3. This phone has proven once again what true flagship and sustained performance can be like. Remember, this phone had some heating issues, some kind of darker dimming display issues in the past. Those are all long gone. And now what's replaced it is a very solid and very capable and consistent performer with 671,000, dipping only 6,000 points, but also dipping the least in terms of battery life. This phone started with much lower battery than the rest. And let's see, because the Pixel started with nearly 100% battery, 75%. So it lost a quarter of its battery doing these 3 ANTUTU tests, while the POCO F3 lost around 11%, and this Note 11 Pro Plus lost around 13%. And so that's it for this test, and your winner, and I can call it now, guys, I think your winner for the ANTUTU throttling test champ of 2021 is this, the POCO F3. An incredible performer that even still to this day is proving that the Snapdragon 870 is the best chipset released in 2021. But hit me up in the comments. What are your thoughts on this shocking result for the Pixel 6? And do you agree that Google has still some work to do to really get this Tensor chip working properly? This was almost an embarrassment in terms of its result. But hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. Stay tuned, guys. I am very busy this week. I got another device. Oh, I'm not telling you what it is, but I have another device I'm fully testing, and it will be testing alongside a number of these phones. So stay tuned for my full coverage coming up very soon of some great new devices here on Frankie Tech. So that's it, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Have a good one. Not good, Pixel 6. Not good.